go fit dog you, cause I know say I dey love you. I be your father. So we don't waste no time.
Kukrudu. 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 The acting chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Freddie Blay, the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our world-class First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency President John Agyekum Kufuor, our world-class former president, my lovely wife Samira Bawumia, our Chief of Staff, members of the Council of State, members of National Council, honorable ministers of state, the minority leader, honorable members of parliament, distinguished elders of our party, MMDCs, chiefs and traditional leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, national, regional, constituency, and polling station executives, rank and file of the great Kukrudu family, representatives of other political parties, members of the media, Assalamu alaikum. What a difference a year makes. Sometimes we forget that we are actually in the majority. Majority leader. What a difference a year makes. A year ago, we were in the minority. Today, we are in the majority. And inshallah, it will continue for a while to come. We thank the Almighty God for delivering this country to us as a party to govern, and also for delivering our economy from the throes of economic mismanagement. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the NPP promised the nation that our government will transform the economy by ensuring that we replace incompetence with competence in the management of the economy. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, without any fear of contradiction, that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has indeed replaced incompetence with competence in the management of our economy. One man or one person cannot manage an economy. The president had to put together a team. And when I look at colleagues seated in discussion during cabinet meetings and other meetings with ministers, it is just humbling to see the galaxy of competent men and women that the president has assembled. Furthermore, when I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafuo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? am sure, I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was. Kukrudu, fellow Kukrudites, we were elected to fix the problems, and I'm glad to report that we are fixing the problems and we are putting in place the policies that will drive the economic transformation of this country. It is very clear that the economy is beginning to respond to the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Our masterful Asempa budget, delivered by the masterful Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, has set the tone this year. We promised to reduce taxes and move economic management from a focus on taxation to a focus on production. And we have delivered on this promise. Ladies and gentlemen, we abolished the excise duty on petroleum. We abolished levies on Kayaye. We abolished the 1% special import levy. We abolished the 17.5% VAT on domestic airline tickets. Abolished the 17.5% VAT on financial services. Abolished 17.5% VAT on selected imported medicines. We abolished the 5% VAT on real estate sales. And we have abolished the import duty on spare parts. We've reduced the National Electrification Scheme levy from 5% to 3%, reduced the public lighting levy from 5% to 2%, reduced the special petroleum tax rate from 17.5% to 15%, replaced the 17.5% VAT for traders with a flat rate of 3%. We've granted capital gains tax exemption on stocks traded on the Ghana Stock Exchange or publicly held securities. In the 8 years of the NDC economic management, how many taxes did they reduce? We promised to restore macroeconomic stability, and we have done that in just 7 months. Inflation has been reduced from 15.4% to 11.9% in July this year. Interest rates on the 91-day Treasury bills have declined from 16.8% in December to 12.5% in July. The cedi has remained stable, and the year-to-date depreciation against the US dollar is just 3.7%. Fiscal consolidation has been restored, with the fiscal deficit on course to be reduced from 9.3% in 2016 to 6.3% this year. The era of reckless borrowing, which saw Ghana's debt increase from 9.5% in 2008 to 122% in 122 billion in 2016. That era of reckless borrowing, which increased our debt to GDP ratio from 32% at the end of 2008 to 73.1% at the end of 2016, and placed upon this country a huge burden. That era of reckless borrowing, thankfully, is over. Contrary to the annual average rate of debt accumulation of 36.7% per annum over the last 8 years, the rate of accumulation over the last 6 months so far is only about 13.3%. For the first time since 2008, Ghana's debt burden, which is measured by the debt to GDP ratio, will be reduced from 73% at the end of 2016 to a projected 71% this year. Although it is still high, there is a significant change in direction. Rather than going up, we are starting to come down. And that is the difference between NDC economic management and NPP economic management. Our reprofiling program for the domestic debt, which involved extension of the tenor of issuance of longer-dated bonds, has been largely successful. This has led to the extension of tenor with the issuance of the first 15-year bond and is currently the longest-dated domestic bond. As at last year, the longest-dated domestic bond was 10 years. In addition, a second 7-year bond was issued in April this year. The yield curve at the primary issuance of domestic bonds also improved significantly compared to the trend in recent years. Following the reprofiling exercise, savings from interest cost is estimated at 612 million Ghana cedis this year. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the government, the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, and I had to call the Comptroller and Accountant General to confirm this last night, is current on all its 2017 statutory obligations. The NHIS, we are current on our payments. The GET Fund, we are current on our payments. District Assembly Common Fund, we are current on our payments. SNIT contributions, we are current on our payments. This is a refreshing change from the type of economic management we inherited. Economic growth at the end of 2016 was 3.5%, which was the lowest in 15 years. In 2017, as a result of restored confidence and sound economic, expected to rise to 6.3% with improvements in industry, agriculture sectors, for example. Provisional estimates, ladies and gentlemen, show that our external payments position has also improved, and the trade account has recorded a surplus of 1.4 billion for the first half of 2017 due to a significant increase in export earnings combined with lower imports. We recorded a surplus of 1.4 billion. Last year, same time, we recorded a deficit of 1.4 billion. In May this year, the credit rating agencies revised Ghana's outlook on credit ratings. Fitch Ratings revised Ghana's credit ratings outlook from negative to stable. So it is not we who are saying it. The international ratings agencies have recognized that some asempa is happening in Ghana. According to Fitch Ratings, it reviewed Ghana's economic outlook because the country is making progress in stabilizing the economy after recent crises, with the expected revival of GDP growth and declining inflation. We have launched, ladies and gentlemen, the Planting for Food and Jobs program. And under this program, we have reduced fertilizer prices by 50%. And this has brought relief to a lot of farmers across the country. We have also launched, with Peter Amewu's leadership, a major offensive against galamsey in Ghana to protect our water bodies and our environment. In this regard, we've suspended the issuance of small-scale licenses to restructure the sector and developed a 5-year multilateral mining integrated project to improve the management of small-scale mining in the country. Small-scale mining in or near water bodies have also been banned. We have completed the process of procurement, and we are about to roll out a digital property addressing system in Ghana. There's a lot of work that has gone into it. For the longest time in Ghana, wondered about finding addresses. Where do you find the address of someone or a business? This, thankfully, is coming to an end. By the end of this year, Ghana will have a fully functioning digital property addressing system, and you will see it being rolled out in the next few months. The process of issuing national identification cards is also underway, and we should see the start of the issuance in the fourth quarter of this year. This, again, is historic. We've talked about a national ID card since 2008, when the President Kufuor's government passed the law, but we've not seen this thing happen. Under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, it is happening live this year for all of us to see. Our industrialization plan, which is based on adding value to raw materials, is on course. Nana Akufo-Addo has kept telling us the vision is to industrialize, is to add value to raw materials. And we saw this with the launch of the One District, One Factory program in Ekumfi just yesterday. To support the One District, One Factory plan, we've also established a quick disbursing stimulus fund to support distressed but viable companies. To date, over 350 applications have been received, out of which 80 have been selected for support in the first phase of the program. We have also launched the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan to support startup and early businesses with a seed capital of $10 million, the city equivalent of $10 million. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of work is being done. We have completed and submitted to Parliament draft bills for the establishment of the development authorities as well as the Zongo Development Fund. And against all the doubters and naysayers, our government has enabled us, the management of this economy, has enabled us to place the economy in a position to implement the following policies. The free SHS policy will start in September this year. Didn't some people say it was not possible? If you think in impossibility, you will act in impossibility. But if you think like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you can make things possible. And Nana, the free SHS is going to be made possible in just a few weeks' time. This is going to relieve a lot of parents and put monies into pockets of our suffering parents. We have also paid an increased national service allowance, which has been increased from 350 Ghana cedis to 559 Ghana cedis. Teacher training allowances and nursing training allowances will also be restored in a few weeks' time, in September this year. Didn't some people say we couldn't do it? They were thinking in the realm of impossibility. They were not thinking like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We have made the budgetary allocation to expand the LEAP program to cover more beneficiaries from 213,000 to 350,000 households who had been captured but had not been catered for. In line with our promise, we have increased the portion of the District Assembly Common Fund allocated to persons with disability from 2% to 3%. This is quite remarkable. And the Minister for Roads has also implemented a policy where he's reserving roads and highways, all toll booths to be manned by the disabled. We have also increased the proportion of the District Assembly Common Fund that goes directly to assemblies from 33% to 50% as a result of fewer deductions from the center. And I know this is one of the policies Haji Halima Mahama has championed, and it has become a reality. On the energy situation, besides stabilizing the electricity supply, government has made significant progress with respect to the interventions that were promised in the 2017 budget statement. Government has taken steps to deal with the financial difficulties in the sector. Better financial management has resulted in a dramatic improvement. Dumsor has basically disappeared. Among the landmarks Cabinet has approved include a cash waterfall mechanism to allow us to distribute funds to all who must receive payment from ECG. Cabinet has also approved the establishment of an energy market oversight panel, which was provided for under the electricity regulations LI 1937, but has not seen the light since 2008. Since 2008, we were supposed to establish this oversight committee. It hasn't been done under our government. We have decided to establish it. We are moving towards renewable energy, rationalizing power purchase agreements, and we have negotiated the reverse flow on the West African gas pipeline. It's a major project which, inshallah, will be completed by March next year under the leadership of Boachi Ejako, and this is going to save Ghana about $1 billion every year once the project is completed. We have worked hard towards improving the efficiency of our ports as well as the movement of goods within Ghana. From September 1st, which is just in a few days' time, the process of clearing goods at the ports would significantly improve with the implementation of a paperless clearing system. Very soon, we should be able to clear our goods within 4 hours, and we can do so even without going to the port. We are also going to see the removal of all internal customs barriers in the country from September 1st. After due consideration, we decided not to implement the vehicle towing levy that the NDC government passed. Our promise to restore allowances paid to Arabic teachers will also be implemented by October this year. And the Youth Employment Agency has started the process to recruit over 60,000 unemployed youth under various modules. 60,000. Youth in security, youth in afforestation, youth in graduate internship, and youth in sanitation. Our infrastructure programs in the areas of roads, railways, water, sanitation, ports, and so on are also in course, proceeding quite well. In 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, 8 years with all the massive resources at their disposal. In fact, if you take loans and taxes and oil revenue, the NDC had 248 billion Ghana cedis at their disposal. In 8 years, with all these resources at their disposal, the NDC could not implement many of the policies that we are doing within this year. They rather presided over a decline. With just a fraction in just 1 year, Nana Akufo-Addo is implementing the free SHS, the national ID cards, the National Digital Address System, the Zongo Development Fund, development authorities, staying current on statutory obligations, restoring teacher and nursing training allowances, reducing fertilizer prices by 50%, reviving the collapsed railway sector, ensuring stable power supply, restoring economic growth, dealing with corruption, ensuring fiscal discipline, ensuring debt sustainability, reducing interest rates, reducing inflation, improving Ghana's sovereign credit rating, strengthening the banking system, restoring payment of allowances to Arabic tutors, expanding the industrial sector, one district, one factory, and restoring the efficiency of the port system with paperless transactions. This is a manifestation of competent economic management. Kukrudu, kukrudu, kukrudu. But this is only the beginning. There is more to come under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Much, much more, especially in the area of job creation. We are putting the framework together and we're empowering the private sector, and we will see, inshallah, more and more jobs starting to emerge as we proceed. Fellow Ghanaians, we are delivering on our promise of transforming the economy, and by the grace of God, we will continue to deliver. Inshallah, we are on course. The economy is responding under the visionary leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to deliver Ghana beyond aid. God bless President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. God bless the NPP, and God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is wonderful. Slow it, Sammy. Thank you very much. Cho boy! I'm sure the NPP fraternity is excited about it. The Ghanaian people are very proud.